Hello and welcome back again, Coffee Beans. This is Agricultural Electrification. Definition of terms. Part 2. Magnetic coil. The coil of wire on an electromagnet. Magnetic motor starter. A motor starter that may be controlled from a remote location by energizing an electromagnetic coil. Magnetic field strength. Amount of magnetomotive force per unit length. Other terms for magnetic field strength are magnetic field strengths are magnetic field intensity and magnetizing force. Normally closed sensor. A sensing device that is electrically equivalent to a closed switch which opens or breaks a circuit in an alarm condition. Normally open sensor. A sensing device that is electrically equivalent to an open switch which closes or completes a circuit in an alarm condition. Overcurrent protection. A device installed in the circuit to protect the conductors in the form of fuses or circuit breakers. Overhead light, also called ceiling outlet. Overload protection. A device installed in the power circuit to protect the motor in the form of relays. Heaters, or elements. Panel board is a single panel or group of panel units designed for assembly in the form of a single panel, including buses. Automatic overcurrent devices, and equipped with or without switches for the control of light, heat, or power circuits, designed to be placed in a cabinet or cutout box placed in or against a wall or partition and accessible only from the front. Phase, a time relationship between two electrical quantities. Phase shift, the result of two waveforms being out of step with each other. Phasing, interconnecting transformer, generator, or motor windings so that they have the correct time phase relationships between them. Phasor, a line representing alternating current or voltage at some instant of time. Photon, a quantum of electromagnetic energy with an energy of OFHc, lambda. Photon flow rate, the rate of flow of photons. Photon fluence, the photon flow rate per unit spherical area. Photon fluence rate, the photon fluence per unit time. The same as photon flux for normal incidence radiation. Photon flux, the photon flow rate per unit plane surface area, also called photon flux density to emphasize the unit area. Piezoelectric, producing voltage by applying pressure to a crystal. Power, the rate at which energy is consumed in a circuit. It is measured in watts. Power conductors, those conductors that carry current to provide electric power from the machine disconnect to the drive motors. Power factor, it is that factor by which the volt-ampere product must be multiplied in order to obtain the actual power. It is never greater than 1. The value depends on the kind of opposition offered. Power factor, F. The ratio of the true power to the apparent power. Power source. The means for providing the energy for the system to operate. Polarity. Can refer to the grounded battery terminal or to an electric circuit or to the north and south pole of a magnet. Electrical characteristic, negative or positive, of a charge. Polarization. Accumulation of gas ions around electrode of a cell. Potentiometer. 3-terminal variable resistor. Power circuit. The portion of electrical circuit that serves to supply the stator winding of motor. Power factor. The cosine of theta. The ratio of the true power over the apparent power. Also equal to resistance divided by impedance. Product load. Refers to the amount of heat that must be removed from the product to lower its temperature to the room in which it is to be stored. Radiant energy. The transfer of energy by radiation. Radiant heating. Heating primarily by thermal radiation. Radiation. The phenomenon of sending out rays of light or heat from a source. The most common manifestation of radiation heat transfer is the experience of feeling hot when one approaches a fire. Receptacle. A contact device installed at the outlet for the connection of a single attachment plug. Refractor. A device used to redirect the illumination primarily by the process of refraction. Relay. An electromagnetic switch which utilizes variation in the strength of an electric circuit to affect the operation of another circuit. Resistance. Opposition to current which converts electric energy into heat energy. Resistivity. Characteristic resistance of a material, resistance of a cubic meter of the material. Resonance. A circuit condition in which X sub L equals X sub C. Rheostat. 2-terminal variable resistor, a device to regulate current flow by varying the resistance in the circuit. RSI. Resistance to heat flow. In SI units. Square meter Kelvin per watts. Rumination. Can be described as controlled vomiting. In rumination. A controlled set of contractions of the esophagus. Reticulum. And rumen allow ingested to be regurgitated back up to the esophagus where fluids are swallowed again and additional remastication and reswallowing of solids occurs. Rural electric cooperatives. Non-stock. Profit power distribution utility cooperatively owned by customers. Organized to supply, promote and encourage the fullest use of electric service on an area coverage basis. Semiconductor. Elements with 4 valence electrons. Service entrance. Electrical equipment between electrical supply and a building electrical distribution system. Shielding angle, of a luminaire. The angle between a horizontal line through the light center and the line of sight at which the base source first becomes visible. Silver is the best conductor to use, but high cost prevents it from being commonly used except for switch contacts. Solenoid, an electrically magnetic device used to do work. Stray voltage, small, erratic electric voltage difference that exists between two surfaces which livestock can touch. Substation, assembled equipment that regulates electricity voltage. Supplemental lighting, lighting used to provide a specific amount or quality of illumination which cannot be readily obtained by the general lighting system, and which supplements the general lighting system. Terminals refer to the two prongs of an extension cord. Two terminals of convenience outlet are two terminals of battery. Thermal protector, device which protects the motor against overheating due to overload or failure to start. Thermostat, a temperature responsive mechanism used for controlling heating systems, cooling systems, etc., usually with the object of maintaining certain temperatures without further personal attention. Three-phase, three voltages or currents displaced from each other by 120 electrical degrees. Total connected load refers to the total of all watts. Transfer switch, an automatic or manual device for transferring one or more conductor connections from one power source to another. Transformer, an electrical device used to transfer electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit by means of electromagnetic induction. Transformer losses, power losses in a transformer, caused by hysteresis, eddy current, and winding resistance. Transponder, electric control used to identify livestock in a controlled, automatic feeding system. Type NM, factory assembly of two or more insulated conductors having an outer covering of a flame retardant. Moisture resistant and non-metallic material. Permitted for installation in normal dry installations. Type NMC, factory assembly of two or more insulated conductors having an outer covering of a flame retardant. Moisture resistant, corrosion resistant and non-metallic material. Permitted for installation. Ventilating efficiency ratio, VER, an efficiency rating for ventilation fans measuring air moving capacity per unit of energy input. Units are CFM per watt. Volt, base unit of voltage joule per coulomb. Voltages, potential energy difference, electrical pressure. Voltage drop, voltage loss due to added resistance caused by undersized wire, poor connection, etc. Voltage gradient ramp, an area where a gradual change in potential from the equipotential plane to the surrounding area is provided by installation of conductive elements. Voltmeter, device used to measure voltage. Wall switch, is a single pole, single throw tumbler or toggle switch. Water fabrication rinse sink, an apparatus used during manufacturing to rinse debris and contamination from the circular configuration of semiconductor chips. Watt, base unit of power, joule per second. Watt hour, unit of energy 36,000 joules. Watt meter, an electrical meter that measures true power. Wheatstone bridge, circuit configuration used to measure electrical qualities such as resistance. Y connection, connecting the phases of a three-phase system at a common point so that the line and phase currents are equal. Hope it helps. Thank you again for listening. Please like, subscribe and comment your suggestion on topics you want to hear. Links of previous topics are stated in the description box below. See you in the next part. Bye. Rar.